Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Beef Meeting Podcast. I am your host, Zach, aka Snack with Zach. Cereal Life joins us today. And if you can't figure out what he's about, he's all about the cereal. He started off the page as a joke like 10 years ago, and then one day decided to go super serious with it. And the knowledge this guy has about cereal of all things is super super deep. If there's any product that has lore, it is cereal. It's something we all grew up with. It's super nostalgic, and it's really cool to see how Emmy at Cereal Life navigates the world of it. He's even writing a book about it. It's fascinating stuff. So without further ado, please enjoy the episode with Cereal Life. You were just talking about the podcast that you used to host during COVID. I want to hear about the Ethan Zahn thing and what you're talking about with the cereal bowl that always keeps your cereal crispy.
Yeah, you got it. So we met during COVID. He came on a show to talk about Survivor Africa. He's also just like an awesome dude. If you don't know Ethan Zahn, he survived cancer twice. He won the show Survivor like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's just like he's just so charismatic. He's like the nicest dude. Towards the end of the show, like after we were signing off, he said essentially he loves cereal and he's an inventor. And I was like, wait, hold on a second. He's like, yeah. I was like, I was on David Letterman, and they asked him, what did you invent? And then this is all recorded, and he says, well, I have this cereal bowl that keeps your cereal crunchy all day long. And then he's like, wait, what is this? And he's like, just picture a swimming pool. You have a shallow end and a deep end. Same with the bowl. You put your cereal in the shallow end, you put your milk in the deep end, and when you want a little bit more, you just tap it over the edge.
Dude,
and
it's
everyone,
such a simple concept too.
Exactly. So everyone applauded, and then he got cancer. He was on the show. He was on the show Cancer. He survived cancer. He was on a show called Pitchmen with was that Billy Mays? Billy Mays, and then Billy Mays passed away. So he had this like project that was on the shelf for such a long time, and then when we met, it was just like, we have to do this. So we did a Kickstarter. We raised 25 grand, and we made this bowl. It's called
What's the status? I'll get one out to you. Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the status of this bowl presently? It's available for people to buy.
So we did a run about 3,000 bowls, and we are like proud to say we actually are on like our last 200 bowls. I have no more in my location. He's got them at his spot up in Florida.
Okay.
mycrunchbowl.com. That's the last place you can buy them. They're on Amazon for a bit. Now they're off, but it's a fun project. Yeah, for sure.
So the second, is there a possibility of a second run going on for the yes, I think maybe.
I think it's definitely a maybe. I think if we do it, we would have to redesign it because there's still so many. We have this really cool concept. There's like a crunch wall. There's like a cereal chute. There's a spoon rest. But there's so much more we can go. We can like we have an idea of the strewn. Ethan came up with the strewn.
The strewn.
It's a spoon that's also a straw. So I actually have a straw right with me, and the end is just a cereal spoon, so you can eat your cereal and you can like slurp up the milk.
I gotta ask, do you have cereal with you right now?
Dude, this place is like littered with cereal.
Oh yeah, so, but you're not actively eating one right now.
No, I'm not actively eating cereal right now. But there's so much cereal. Like this whole basement is actually kind of crazy. I was gonna wait a little bit to announce it, but there is another project in the works, and that's why like my life is a huge mess, and that's why there's this light box right there beside me.
So it looks good.
Yeah, I'm working on the most amazing cereal book ever. It's a coffee table book all about cereal. So if you can imagine from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s till today, and just highlighting and celebrating the most epic cereals of those decades. And it's just going to be bright, beautiful, big, hardcover. It's going to think about like Vogue or like Tom Ford, those coffee table books folks have. So this is going to be Cereal Life, and it's just going to be. I can't say too much about it, but
it's okay. The concept is there. It sounds brilliant too, and there's so much history, nostalgia, eras. Like my parents are 60. We're pretty much the same age, so I'm assuming your parents are a similar age bracket too. And I'm sure when you talk about the stuff that you have now, or like Twinkles coming back from the 60s. They're always like, oh, we had that when we were a kid, or like the Monster cereals come back every year, and they're like, oh, we had Count Chocula when I was growing up. It's really cool to see how it invokes this sort of thing. It's like the inner child with people, because even we're adults too, but it's
Do you forget like that you're an adult sometimes? I
Yeah.
feel like I forget. I think I'm a kid. It's funny because I was actually reading the comments on a video that I had on Instagram about me going into a Krispy Kreme because Krispy Kreme is free with report cards, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you saw that one. So you have me like put it on a backpack and actually Photoshop the report card because I didn't have like a recent report card, and I
I
go
didn't
to a
see
Krispy.
you do this.
I did this. Me.
This is
That's me
brilliant.
doing this, and it did really well. And I got these donuts, and it was amazing. It worked out perfectly. Because what could she say? I was like, hey, report
Yeah,
card.
you have a report
Yeah,
card.
yeah, this
It's,
is me.
it checks out. It doesn't have to say it's, a legally valid report card that's notarized by, the government.
Exactly. I actually wrote like Cereal University or something like that. And they gave me these donuts. And then I was reading, I don't know why, I was reading the comments the other day, and someone was like, this is a grown ass man. And I was like, shit, I am a grown ass man. I was like, you know, so
Dude,
it's,
I can't process basically everything after 2020. I feel like I'm still stuck at 22. I was 22, I think. 22 batches. I had just turned 23. So it's still an adult, but my brain is locked in the fact I'm going to be 28 in a couple months. I can't, like, you just turned 30. Congratulations.
that's right. Yeah. December 11th, I turned 30. And I mean, I think that like a lot of things are happening in my life right now. I mean, we got married about 3 years ago. We have some big things coming too, and I think that it's just. I'm leaving it there. We have some
Okay.
big things coming.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yes, yeah. So I think that it's more of, yeah, it's kind of a next phase in your life.
Yeah.
It seems that way, but at the same time, it seems totally the same. Like I was listening to some old some of the earlier podcasts that you have, and you're talking about how you like to hit the, yeah, how you like to. I love your first episode where you're just you're just talking about everything. You're hitting all the questions and you're hammering them,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, it's like, I love to exercise. I don't have diabetes. I'm not gay. Not there's anything wrong with that. It was just like I love just listening to you respond to these things, and it was just amazing.
Those were the tamest ones that I could ask on or answer on a podcast too, because there was some wild shit that came in.
I know that you exercise, so I
Yeah.
also work out, and
I could tell.
I'm saying I just hit a PR on the bench, right?
What was it?
I got 3 plates, so it was like
Damn, bro!
So
What the
it's
hell?
like finally, right? And so I'm like 30 years old, but I've never lifted this weight before, so it's just 30. It really is just a number as long as you kind of keep your head in the right place and stay active and that sort of thing.
Hang on, I'm trying to math that out in my head real fast. Is that 315
315
pounds? Because what I didn't realize until today was that you're in Canada.
That's right.
315 pounds, whatever that is in kilograms. It's probably like 175.
So all of our gyms use pounds. It's interesting because I've worked out overseas. I was in the Philippines this summer, and everything was kilos. But like Canada, like we took the pounds, we kept the liters. It's just interesting. I can't.
Well, at least I could go over and work out in Canada and have no problems. See, my car doesn't have the kilometers now; it only has the miles per hour. So whenever I cross over the border now, I'm like, I don't know what this means, dude. I don't know how fast I'm going.
It's interesting. A lot of snack heads, they're always crossing. They're going, across borders to get the rare stuff, to get the exclusive stuff. And now I'm just crazy for the Baileys. I'm trying to smuggle in the Baileys Kellogg cereal, the one that I don't know if you've heard of this. It's a Kellogg's.
I did hear of it.
Yeah, it looks like a flake, like a frosted flake sort of thing, but it tastes like Baileys. Apparently, it's amazing. So
where is it?
Mexico.
Oh, so we'll see. Mexico gets cool shit. Mexico got the full sugar Oreo Coke, and the U.S. didn't, because there's something. What I had heard from somebody who works for Coca-Cola was that they have apparently a very strict policy about collabs, and this is totally anecdotal, so it might be bullshit. Supposedly some board in Coke decided they voted down a full sugar release of the Oreo Coke in the US, but Mexico was like the one place in the entire world that got it. But is there a big difference between also what's available for cereal generally in Canada versus here? Because you cover all the bases. Unlike like a lot of us, like I focus almost entirely on the US. You kind of do both sides of things, and you get stuff from the States and stuff in Canada. Sometimes there's crossover. Is there that big of a difference?
So on the note of like the Coca-Cola at Mexico thing, the really funny thing that they have on cereal boxes is that like in Mexico, I feel like you can do whatever you want, but there's like this big label saying like excesivo sugar, whatever it is. I can't speak Spanish, but it's just like It's like a cigarette warning label that says there's so much sugar in this, like do not eat, do not consume. But then go ahead, like it's like eat at your own risk sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of like I love covering the international stuff. Like we have a series that we do, like I do like a cereal only found in Germany, in like Puerto Rico, and right, and people love that stuff. Just like the appeal of getting snacks from different places
It's
is
cool.
such a strong one.
It's totally cool. We have a store, I don't know if you guys have it there, called World Market, and World Market is, in a way, it's not the same category as like a TJ Maxx. See, the thing is, I'm like, they call it the same thing. It's always because I know in the UK it's different, but like because TJ Maxx is like RJ Maxx or something like that. But World Market is basically like one of those superstores that has furniture and all sorts of stuff. But they also have a lot of international stuff, and they'll bring in the Lay's flavors, Fantas, all sorts of stuff that you wouldn't usually see here. It is really cool. What's the coolest cereal you think you've found overseas?
For right now, it's for sure the Baileys. That's like the top of my list of what I want.
That's the grail.
That's like right now, like I would do anything, man. I would.
Nobody can source that for you. Like you being your entire niche for the most part. Although I like how you've done a lot of cross play stuff into like, I mean, I saw what you did with the rum chata and the cinnamon toast crunch cocktail a couple weeks ago. That looked fantastic. I like how you're doing a lot of that too. But your niche is cereal, so there's nobody in Mexico who can send you that.
There's one account, Mexican Candy Lady. I think that's her username.
Shout out Mexican Candy Lady.
Yeah, and she does the snacks from Mexico. I have a good buddy whose name's Cereal Hookup, and he gets stuff from the States for me when I'm not there. But I can get it. I'm actually
somebody will get it eventually.
I'll get it. If
I'll not, eBay will have it. How many is the cereal niche bigger than I thought it was? Because I didn't think there were that many people.
You know what? There's a lot of folks in like Latin America, Spanish folks who love their cereal. They love like their Frosties or like their Cocoa Krispies they have over there. It's funny because I was on a show here in Canada. It's kind of like what do you guys have there in the States? Like Good Morning America. So we have something like, it's called
Was this
CTV.
where you brought out the cereals for everybody to try and you had the Oreo O's, etc.? Because you had, what else did you have in there?
So these are some of like I'll just say like just the most amazing like blessed moments of cereal life. But starting with I guess what happened later on, because of the whole press with Questlove, they wrote an article about me in like a major Toronto newspaper called the Toronto Star. And after that, pretty much all the networks start picking you up. They're like, oh, this is pretty cool. So they invited me to it's called CTV Your Morning. So it's kind of like a like I said, like a Good Morning
GMA
America
type.
Yeah. Exactly. And I get on there and I had this idea of doing an international cereal taste test. So I'd bring the hosts, like we had some stuff from, I think it was like Toops from like Guatemala. We had Blueberry Captain Crunch from Canada, from here. And then we had some cool stuff from like all over. And the thing that I realized only like when I sat in that seat and got there, I'm like, all these cereals are pretty gross. Like they're all like pretty bad. Like I was working so hard to try to find and like source these and go in like all these markets around the city. And I'm like, I'm feeding these hosts like crap. They're never going to want me back here. But it was so fun. They were so kind. It was so nice. And we just chat about cereal. But yeah, it all stemmed from the Questlove, I guess, cereal game nights that I started.
Dude, that's wild. For context, and correct me if I'm wrong, you've basically for 3 times now have curated a cereal bar 4 times. There are cool parts of this. You curated, Questlove had a game night, and you curated the cereal bar for Questlove, which had you do it again, and then they had you do it again, and then at some point you also, I thought the custom Questlove cereal was really cool, but
sure,
how did this all happen?
Yeah, so it all really started from just posting consistently. That's what I would say, posting consistently, and being in the cereal space for so long. I'm sure you get these DMs, but they're like, "Oh, hey, can you send me some snacks?" Like
all the time.
All the time, right?
All the time. I found the Dr. Pepper Creamy Coconut. Everybody wants that because for some reason it wasn't popular in Massachusetts, and I've never received more story replies than people asking me for the Dr. Pepper Creamy Coconut, which I got for the followers. But 100%.
For sure. And I mean, I'm like, I can't send you this cereal. Like that's always my answer. I'm like, no, this is just kind of like a page that's just, shares the love of cereal. But there was one exception when shout out Kathy, who's part of the Questlove team, reached out to me and said, "Hey, can you send us cereal?" I was like,
And at that point, you can't say no.
"Yeah," I was
You
like,
know,
"Absolutely, right." And at that point, I was just like, "Okay, what's going on?" And they're like, "Well, we do these game nights, and essentially we get all these A-list celebrities together in a room, and they play like Uno, whatever, every game, like whatever. I don't know, like Connect Four. I don't know if they have Connect Four there, but they have all these like awesome games, and it's just super fun." So People Magazine picked it up, and it kind of blew up. But before that, at that point, they were like, we love cereal. We know you love cereal. Can you just like curate 20 boxes for us? And I was like, sure. So I got some of the classics,
easy task. It's fine.
got some of the new stuff.
What kinds of stuff did you put out?
So we did, the most recent party was actually a few weeks ago.
Okay.
We're on to like the fifth party now. And
when are you
like,
going to be at the party is what I want to know.
Yes. So it was really funny because they're so sweet. They like invited me over when they were in Toronto. They were on tour. I just happened to be in Orlando at the time. For like, yeah, for my anniversary. But they invited me to like a concert like backstage, and it was really nice. I was like, oh, I felt terrible because I was out of the country, but it'll happen soon. But so this recent party that happened a few weeks ago was like a winter theme. So I was like, okay, let's get you some of the exclusive stuff. So I was like really, really grateful to have connections with the companies because a lot of these cereals didn't come out yet to the public. So I got the Twinkle cereal for them. I got some gingerbread toast crunch.
Nice. Shout out General Mills. They just dropped me the box, the PR kit, which I know you got. Like a lot of the creators got the PR kits. Shout out to them for the design of the actual box being a cereal box with the cereal boxes. The marketing behind that was incredible. But anyway, you were saying.
Yeah, it's awesome. I keep so many of them, and my like cereal wife is like, we gotta throw these boxes out.
Oh my god, that's perfect. Cereal Life and Cereal Wife.
Exactly.
Holy shit. Well, we recently got connected, so like I knew you existed, but we hadn't been mutuals for a long time. So I don't know if that was a regular running joke in the Cereal Life. But you guys just got married though, so it's fine.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
It's cool.
It's fun. It's fun.
I love that.
We did the new Pebbles Winterfest, Fruity Pebbles, and we did Captain Crunch's Arctic Crunch.
Nice.
It's so funny. I'm asking for like a couple boxes. I'm like, can you give me like one box of that and like one box of this? And the brands are so nice because they also want to be a part of this party because they post pictures and stuff like that. Yeah. And sometimes you get like a Channing Tatum like pouring himself some tricks, right? And it's just so it's
really just like, great PR.
It's just a win-win-win. So I reached out to them because I knew I couldn't get these really early, and it's my first time actually doing this. And it's funny because the Captain Crunch team, they sent like 40 boxes. I was like, shit. I wanted one box, not like one like case, and then they're just like, enjoy. I'm like, okay. So she's got like
pallet arrives at your door,
like her New York apartment. Like I don't even know. So yeah, man, the Questlove stuff has been like really cool. Really grateful for that, and it's been just like totally fun, and it's totally awesome that celebrities like cereal. You know what I mean?
Like, do you ever think about who could possibly be following with you on social media? Because I was having this conversation with Snack later a while back about just the most bizarre like celebrity encounters that we've had, because people from all walks of life are interested in cereal and snacks, etc. And there is one really, really big musician that follows both him and I. We were talking about it. We were like, it's just so random that all of a sudden it makes the world feel a lot smaller. Questlove in general is one of the most entertaining people on the face of the earth. I had no idea he was into cereal like that. And I thought what you did was brilliant with the Quest Crunch. So you had to design a box of cereal, right, for him because they wanted to make a custom cereal.
It was that's funny. No, it was the Questlove Crunch, and
on the back you had a game.
Yeah, I think it was the third party, and we did Kathy reached out and she said, hey, why don't we do a cereal for Questlove as like little giveaways? So I did a couple full size boxes, and then I did like 30 or 40 mini boxes, and the front had like Questlove jamming the drums. It's right behind me, like the photo of it, and on the back there was a maze through his like fro. And we put some Easter eggs in there. And, oh my god, it is just so fun. And then like these photos come out on like People magazines, like, wait, Taylor Swift was there? Like that's Taylor Swift eating my cereal. It's just like, what?
It's such a
It
crazy
was.
thing.
It's just cool. It's just fun. It's just. I think it brings people back to their roots a little bit. Eating cereal.
100%.
Yeah.
How
We're all,
so? I heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard you started this as a joke originally. Is it true,
it's true. It's completely true.
dude?
So it, it's funny because I had like two usernames ever. I think there's like a little settings page where you can see like your previous usernames. So my
Okay,
first username was my name and then fork. It was Ummy Fork. I was like, wait, I'm like, what
yeah,
does this? What does this mean?
yeah.
I just said Ummy like a utensil, and then I was
Not
like,
even a spoon.
and everyone was like, well, why is your name Ummy Fork? I was just like, that's it, Ummy Fork. That's what it is. And then exactly, and then I was just like, no, 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 no. Spoon is better than fork. And I dropped a box of cereal in my dorm room, and I was like, the light was hitting it perfectly, and I took a photo of the cereal, and I
This is
was
so
just like, this is
college.
it.
You got
I'm
the
serious.
Instagram filter on it. You're like, oh,
Yeah, exactly, exactly. The old school, and I was like, this is it. I'm cereal life. But it was just photos of myself, just like whatever.
eating
Look at me,
cereal.
I'm on a mountain now. Um,
So yeah, where's the peak in time? When did first of all, what year did you start Cereal Life as a joke here in the dorm room? You see that beautiful aesthetic Michelangelo shot of the cereal. What cereal was on the floor anyway?
I think it was like a Trix style cereal.
All right, so
Um,
Trix is
I,
on the floor. What
yeah,
year is this?
this must have been 2013.
Okay,
Um, but it took another 7 or 8 years for my buddy Ellie. Shout out Ellie, who he's a great photographer, graphic designer type of guy.
okay.
And we were having drinks one night. He's just like, why don't you actually start posting? And he's like, yeah, we can go out, take some photos of like cereal, go to like grocery store and stuff like that. I was like, let's do it. So we went out and it was awesome. And I started posting just cereal that I was eating, cereal that I found, cereal that I love, nostalgic ones, and just people started following. And I'm like, okay,
There's
this is
merit
pretty
there.
cool.
It's a really weird thing. But and for the record, you may have started the page as a joke, but it's not like you've always liked cereal,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
oh
because
yeah.
you eat 20 bowls a day, dude, or
There,
not 20 bowls a week, 20 bowls a
it,
day.
there was a time I ate 50 bowls a week.
I
There were
believe
there
it.
were, there were times, yeah, because I mean, listen, first, you never really eat one bowl of cereal. Haven't met anyone who eats one bowl. Like they eat one bowl and you put it away. No, you eat the bowl and then you have some residual milk. Then you got to top it up with the cereal, and then you got to put more milk, and then it only
The
ends.
ratios. It's about the ratios,
Yeah, it
dude.
only ends when there's this perfect harmony of, okay, now there's nothing left in my bowl, no cereal left, right? So yeah, I was eating about 50 at one point,
What was the
and
go-to? What has been your favorite? This like the number one. You're a big cinnamon toast crunch guy, I've gathered.
I love cinnamon toast crunch. It's a great cereal. I love peanut butter toast crunch. It's probably one of my all-time favorites. I
Was
love
that
Rice
only in
Krispies.
Canada? Because I've
So
never.
so peanut butter toast crunch was around. Don't quote me on the date. I think they had like a couple releases.
Okay,
Um,
so
don't
very varying, limited in some capacity.
Yeah, it's like a limited edition, just like gingerbread toast crunch right now is kind of a limited edition, a little bit recurring. But then I have, like, for me, it's Rice Krispies treats cereal is
The
is
OG,
is
the real one.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Exactly, with the clusters is just like phenomenal. And I tell people that if you really miss it that much, like I do, about once a month, it's like a family tradition here. We just make Rice Krispie treats and we just like break them up into pieces and pour milk over it. It's the same thing. Or you can just buy Rice Krispie treats, break them up. It's the same thing. It's phenomenal. It's the best. And I love Captain Crunch. I love Captain Crunch. I know folks are saying, hey, cuts your mouth and stuff like that, but for me, uh, it's one of the top. It's the oats. It's just it brings me back to childhood for sure.
That's how I feel about Lucky Charms. I mean, Lucky Charms is always going to be at least an A tier of cereals, I think, amongst the general population. But Lucky Charms is always one that if I get it, it's the box will be done in a day or two off the rip. Anything with the marshmallows in it for the most part, but specifically the Lucky Charms, just the way it is, and even like I don't even love the feeling of the marshmallows when they're like like chalky. Like I can feel it in my teeth, and I just like shuddered because I hate that chalkiness. But I love Lucky Charms so much anyway. It's the weirdest thing. Do you actually have 500 boxes of the peanut butter toast crunch, or were you exaggerating?
Oh no, I don't. I have 500 boxes of cereal in general, like in my
Oh,
house.
okay, I thought for some
Oh yeah.
reason when I was doing my research that you had a stash, like a nuclear apocalypse level stash of peanut butter toast crunch, and I was like, man, this man is really about the cereal.
Could you imagine? I would be rich if I had
Dude,
that.
well,
I'd
that's
like,
the thing too.
wow.
Even that alone, if you bought it at MSRP, it would be like $2,500. Not to mention, I'm sure. I mean, you can always add like at this point. I mean,
We
five
should
x anyway for the after like the markup for.
Yeah, we
It's
should,
wild.
like I was reading something about like the US, I think it's in Alaska, they have like a bunker for all like seeds. So there's like
Yeah,
every seed, every tree for everything, just in case there's like an apocalypse. We should do that with snacks. We should make like a snack cellar, cereal and snack cellar. We rent out space in like the Yukon or something,
I would do that.
and we just freeze the greatest snacks of all time. And
Just
and
imagine. Well, you know
yeah,
what's really funny? Oreo just did it in like a mile away from the seed one. So there is now a vault with every single Oreo flavor that's ever existed
get
in the
out.
same place. I think it's like it might be in Norway, wherever the seed vault is in Norway. It's the same it's the same concept. There's a seed vault in Norway,
Yeah.
and Oreo put one in.
What?
Wild, like dude, it's
That
but
I like they actually are they doing it as a joke? Because I know that their social media page is just like all jokes, but
Wikipedia says it was a 2020 publicity stunt by Nabisco in which the Oreo cookie recipe was stored in a concrete bunker by the Svalbard Global Seed Vault. Even if it was, but if it was a publicity stunt
yeah,
and they just did it one off, we could do that. We know enough people. There is enough manpower, woman power, people power
yeah,
behind all of these pages that we could source. Like I'm sure every possible
yeah.
snack that we could want to put in that vault
Like I
just
was,
for humanity.
yeah. I was in DC 2 months ago, and I was like, man, there's so many museums here. Like we went to like the Spy Museum,
Is
but
there a
there's
snack
like
museum?
there's got to be a snack museum. That's what I'm getting at. Like,
If there isn't a snack museum, then that's like shooting fish in the barrel. I'm like I've been to the KFC museum. I feel like brands definitely have their own little like things, but there's not like the history of all the stuff. I mean, you can have something about Flamin' Hot, whether or not that story is true. I've heard conflicting things, but
yeah.
I mean,
And can you imagine like it's being such an interactive experience? Like you walk into like the Oreo section, you go, you get some Oreos, get some
everything.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos, try this limited edition. Like when you go to Disney World and there's like those
Yeah.
disgusting sodas. Yeah, there's like drink some of this soda from like Uruguay or something like that. And I think it could be like the like epic, dude. Even if it's like a pop up, I think it would be phenomenal. New York City. The issue is
This would
that
be
I think
great.
all these brands, they're all I don't know if they all like hate each other, but they're all kind of like you saw the Pop Tarts movie with Jerry Seinfeld, and
I
everyone's
didn't
like
actually
stealing.
watch it. I probably should.
So I mean, there's this kind of like back and forth about Post spying on Kellogg's, and they're coming out with a Pop Tart, and there's like some competition. But firstly, they're all trading secrets. That's for sure. Like,
Mhm.
there's no way that Great Value comes out with like a strawberry cereal, and Pebbles does a strawberry cream cereal, and then Cinnamon Toast Crunch does a strawberry toast crunch cereal, and I think there's one more, but I mean it's just like everyone's in each other's. Everyone's trying to like one up the other. I think,
Yeah.
and
Isn't
I
that
think
there's a great metaphor behind that with just all of the spaces that exist around food for some reason. I just got my hands on a sample can of the Pepsi Wild Cherries and Cream, and Coca-Cola just happened to fully discontinue cherry vanilla this
yeah,
year. And it's the timing of that is I'm like either they're like they because these products take years to develop. What people don't realize is this even the cereal is at your table. It's not like somebody sits in a boardroom one day and says, "Oh, it's August 28th, 2024. I want Captain Crunch Arctic Crunch." Okay, make it. And then 2 days later they start production. It's
right,
iterations and testing and all sorts of stuff, right? So I never thought of it like that, but I can 100% see where you're coming from. It there's got to be something, right? Because Pepsi Wild Cherries and Cream, I mean,
yeah,
this is definitely something they've developed. It's perfect. I fucking love it. And I'm not even a big soda person. But
yeah.
like, that's not something that just came out.
Exactly. It's been thought of. There's board meetings there. I think I'm sure that they're listening to us, especially you and Snack Leader and those guys.
And you,
Um,
man.
yeah.
You know how many cereals came? Like, you saw the whole. We've done
Well,
videos of just straight cereal now.
exactly. Well, okay, listen. I won't confirm or deny this, but hypothetically, I got a page of like a General Mills uh, insider insider like presentation, I would say, or
Yeah.
something like that, and it was just like cereal life leaks this and this, and then I it's funny, I got a box from Kellogg's, and they actually wrote like Ummy cereal life leaker, like as if like like my name was like Ummy leaker, as if leaker was my
I'm a
last name.
leaker.
And they must have had this in some Excel document and like, hey, his name's Ummy leaker,
They
like
just printed it and didn't. Yeah.
it's like no, like, are you guys calling me a leaker? And like, I don't leak things anymore, so I mean,
There's well, look. So it's people don't realize it's a very hard balance, and I've talked about this with brands before too, because all sorts of embargoes come through with products as well. I don't ever like to blow the cap off of any things, because I know a lot of people in the PR world now too who work for the brands. I'm sure you do too, but I also am not dumb to the fact that they get thousands of dollars in free PR by you posting about this thing coming out or that thing coming out. I mean,
yeah,
it's such an interesting world. So, and some brands don't care at all, but
yeah.
other brands do. And
Mhm.
you never know who's going to be mad one day or not give a shit the next. And it's such a wild thing. I try not to do it either. I don't want to be known as a leaker. I want to be known as a news source. But
Right.
sometimes it's just too good.
I think especially when you're starting out, like, you got to get a little bit scrappy. I think
Yeah,
because I mean, it's weird to say that this space is competitive, but there, of
it
course, there
is.
are big,
Yeah.
exactly, there are big players, and even if you have the scoop on something for like 5 hours, right? If you're lucky, that next player is going to post about it, and then it's just like whatever engagement you got.
Dog pile.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're done. You're done. You're done. So I think that, like, once you kind of get, I mean, to your level and so forth, it doesn't really matter. But it's just so interesting that there are like these, I don't know, like unwritten rules and this
It's
whole
such a
system.
weird thing. When I started doing this, it was completely by accident. I was reviewing food, and the thing that kicked it off. Are you familiar with Van Leeuwen, the ice cream company?
I heard. I heard. I
Okay,
listened.
yeah,
I
it's the
listened to the
first
episode. Yeah.
dude, first thing I ever reviewed. Actually, I'm surprised they haven't done a cereal ice cream, because they've done so many
They,
random collabs.
they've done it. They've
Have
done it.
they?
So Cinnamon
Oh
Toast Crunch
shit!
did, yeah. Lucky Charms, cereal milk ice cream is my favorite ice cream. It's like, I mean, I don't know if that's
That's
surprising
right.
to many listeners, but
You're like,
it's
oh my god, really?
absolutely
I'm shocked.
absolutely delicious. But go ahead, yeah.
The first food product I actually reviewed, I was 12 years old. So if anybody wants to come at me for copying or whatever, I was doing food reviews maybe 15 years ago. Like, there's a review that's linked in my link tree of me doing like a cordon bleu from Barber's Foods, and I only did one, but
Oh,
food's always been of interest to me. And I was living in New York City. The tattoo parlor that I was working at had a Van Leeuwen down the street in Brooklyn, and they had the Kraft mac and cheese ice cream. So I tried it. I reviewed it on my personal page, and a bunch of people were like, "Oh, you should create a food page." And I was like, "Nope." And then Old Bay Goldfish came out, and I tried those, and I was like, "All right, fine, I'll create this page." That's where Snack with Zach came out. I was looking for something about the new stuff that really appealed to me. I don't know why. It was just really interesting because I've always been a snack person, pickies, etc. Eventually I was keeping pick lists of stuff that I knew was coming out, and then I published the roundup. I had no idea that anybody existed in the space, or that there was a niche that did that, and there was nobody doing it on social media in a video capacity. So when I created the roundup, it was the first original series like that, and that's why it went viral, and that's how my page grew so fast, was because it didn't exist. So everybody's always like, "Oh, this man, like da da da." I'm like, I didn't know anybody else existed. I
yeah,
just did it because I thought it would be cool, and it somehow worked.
yeah.
So
I did a cereal roundup. I don't do them often. I do them maybe like 4 or 5 times a year
it was
because
great. That was your territory.
yes.
I
Thank
did
you.
the one because
Thank you.
the General Mills sent the sheet through, and I was like, I almost feel like, like this is Ami's thing, dude. And I just like, I know I
No,
just
no.
got to do it because it's
I
it's the thing. But
cereal is for everyone. It's not for me. Just because my page is like
Yeah.
specifically devoted to it. And I do a lot of course, like, cooking stuff. I do a lot of nostalgic stuff. Some stuff I like. I don't know. I chainsaw cereal boxes. I don't know. I light them on fire. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But it's for everyone. It's for everyone to enjoy. And when I see folks like you come on and super successful, it just makes me happy. It's great to know you. And I mean, it's just a learning point, and we can just continue to give people
Yeah.
really what they want. And, it's great.
Well, I'm also really excited as we're entering an area, and I appreciate that sincerely. This is about to be your era. I mean, you've already been
Think so?
killing it, but 100%. I mean, I think there is a certain category of goods that I see as always more. If I have something in a video, I know it's probably gonna get better traction. One is obviously soda, energy drinks. I mean, anything from anything from Frito-Lay, and then cereal is easily in the top 5 of stuff too. But you've also done a really great level of branching out to, like I said, I mean, getting creative with the cocktails, etc. I mean, it's adultifying as much as I hate that
Yeah.
phrase, but you're elevating it in a lot of senses. I'm also curious. This relates to that. What's the most viral video you've ever had?
People love the Krispy Kreme stuff. It's funny. It's
I
not
mean,
even
that's
about cereal.
hilarious.
But yeah, it was for a long time. That was one of the most viral videos. But folks love, like, I've done 3 iterations of, it's a protein cereal saucer. That's the best way to describe it. And it's like super easy to make. You just take like some cereal. Like my most recent one is cinnamon toast crunch. Throw that in a
Okay.
bowl. Scoop of, they have a cinnamon cereal protein by ISO 100. It's actually delicious. I'm not being paid for that or anything. And
Hashtag not sponsored.
exactly. And just put some maple syrup and some yogurt in it. You mix it up, you throw it on a parchment paper in a fridge on a plate, take it out the next morning, and it's like this amazing, like, viral saucer. I didn't think of this. I like stitched a video from his buddy Crocker Lifts, and I've done a couple of these videos, and I did it with Reese's Puffs. I did it with Fruity Pebbles and with Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and they're all like, people love it. So I think what is going to come more in this year is the protein incorporations, focusing a little bit on health, a whole topic of conversation right now, which is very, I guess, this is why I'm so excited about the book coming out, because I think it's coming out at like the right time, because RFK Jr. is apparently gonna really cut back on a lot of like the food dyes and things like
Supposedly.
that. Supposedly. So
This is very interesting. Keep going.
yeah. So it's so funny because on this post, that this new strawberry cinnamon toast crunch post, there's so many comments about, like, Red 40. And it made me think, because I'm like, all these strawberry cereals coming out at the same time from every brand. Is there something there? Do they, like, is Red 40 really going away?
And also,
And
is it even in that? Did you look at the ingredients?
I don't
spec?
even know
Is
if it's in
there?
it. I don't even know. I have no idea.
Half the time I've found now too, and I understand that when it comes to food as well, there are legitimate concerns about certain additives, etc. It's been really interesting to see how RFK has mobilized a very strange base about things. The thing I don't like is when people gatekeep what other people should eat. That's my position. But people also, like, I talked about the Tostitos. They were like red colored chips for the holidays, right? Like Tostito scoops or something like that. And I literally had said verbally in the roundup, I was like, and it's dyed with beet juice for anybody concerned about Red 40. And somebody said in the comments, those chips are straight up Red 40. And I was like, my guy, you can use food to color food. So I'm curious to see if the strawberry toast crunch is like that anyway. But
no, me too. I think that just with these things comes innovation, and I think that,
yeah,
I mean, they're clearly doing it in other parts of the world. In the country that I live in right now,
yeah,
in Canada, I mean, we don't have that. So they are using like beet juice to color things. I've heard from like internal sources that they actually tried some of these things with General Mills cereals, with Kellogg cereals in
mm-hmm.
the States. They've actually tested like some Fruit Loops with just natural colors, and no one was buying them. So I think it says something more about like, folks who purchase these products and what
Yeah.
people actually want, or maybe they don't know what they want, and maybe it's an education thing. But I like to think of myself as someone who's like a healthy person, and
Yeah.
to everyone listening, I mean, of course, everyone's got their own level of moderation, things like that.
Oh yeah.
So, I don't need everything I post about. And a lot of people, like I was on another podcast, and everyone's like, "Well, why don't you trash things? Like, why don't you trash products?" I don't like the trash products. If I don't like it, I generally don't talk about it. I don't post
Yeah.
about it. I try to keep things more positive, but
I do
yeah,
too. One thing that I wanted to ask you about is a upcoming cereal trends, and B, if you think that less so the collabs with people, because I thought the Kelsey mix was cool, but there seems to be a lot of brand collabs from the context of Crumble cereal or Wednesday cereal or Bluey cereal or like the Friends cereal. What's your take on that trend? Because it feels like they're all doing it now, and I see them, and half the times I'm like, that's cool, but it really seems like a lot of times it's just a branding thing.
it's so sad to say, but as of recent, that's what it is. It's just a branding. It's just like a bin mixing, slap the name on it. Like there was a time where I mean, I never had C3POs. I know you're a big Star Wars fan.
I am. I love how you just pulled that. You're
Yeah,
like, yeah.
I just pulled in C3POs. And maybe this isn't the best example, but there was a time where they would actually have a movie and have like characters, and they would think about a cereal, and they'd actually create a new cereal.
Well, I think
And
I've never heard of that. And I also, from a branding standpoint, C3PO is, oh, look at Mark Hamill. He looks so gorgeous.
yeah.
That's just great branding. When did that come out?
This came out, I believe, in the 80s. When does this expire? There's an expiry date on it somewhere. I believe this came out in the it must have come out in the 90s, early 90s,
Holy
late 80s,
shit.
something like that. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's fucking cool.
Yeah. I've got, so I'm working on this project, made me like stock up on a lot of like vintage retro cereals. But I mean,
Is this for the book or is this for something else?
this is for the book. So
Okay.
yeah. So stay tuned for that. It's
Yes.
gonna be great. But
Branding.
Exactly. So like there's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cereal that came out, I think early 90s as well. And that was, I guess it was kind of like a Chex Mix with marshmallows, but it was something that we'd never seen before. And I think that makes it really special, and that makes people like flock to it, and like it resonates in people's head. I think the same thing with like the Spider-Man original, like Ralston Spider-Man cereal.
Yeah.
There's just like there was a time there was like nerds cereal. There was just a time where cereals were very unique, like at least the movie ones. But I don't know, maybe it's because things move very quickly these days, that all they can do is just like dye it a different color. Or
we got puffs and puffs and puffs and puffs, and
Right.
there have been so many puffs releases this year of different varietals. It's really tragic, and I love Post. They're a really sweet team, but the loss of Oreo O's in favor of Oreo Puffs to me is tragic.
Yeah, I'm still an Oreo O's guy, and I mean, I don't like the laziness. I don't like the laziness. So,
And I think the donut holes are cool to an extent. These are the ones from Kellogg's. If you're not familiar, the Crave, the Apple Jacks, and the Frosted Flakes are the three. Now that I see everybody doing the puffs, because people know that their cereal boxes have gotten smaller. It's just a thing. And now there's the cost cutting of doing the corn puff cereals because it's cheaper. It's like doubly hitting. And I don't see a reality where the brands are able to continue doing that to a point where people don't get exhausted of it. I hate to say it, but that's what I see staring down the barrel of the cereal gun.
listen, I think we are lucky to get, I think we got like, between the big four brands, we got like about 50 new cereals this year, maybe over 50. I think it's like 55 new cereals.
Like I said, it's a cereal era. So
it's just crazy to think about, right? But I think that with that also comes with, meh cereals with crazy marketing. Like, who doesn't love a Frosted Flake donut hole? Like, it just sounds great.
yeah.
I actually haven't even tried it yet. I'm getting it in next week, but from the comments, people were just pretty disappointed. So we have to stay hopeful, but
I'm always an optimist when it comes to it, but at a certain point, I'm like, yeah, okay. It's like, is there anything interesting, any creative trends that you have, or you can predict coming up for the cereal space? Anything that you're looking forward to in particular?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna start doing more protein stuff. Like I said, my family. I guess this is airing in March, so I can spill the beans on it. But we're expecting a baby. We're expecting.
I had a feeling when you said it earlier,
Yeah.
and also what I was gonna say. The thing I forgot I was gonna say was I just get the because my aspirations are very much to be a father at some point, and I was like, he'd be such a good dad, just so
I was going to
fun.
say the same thing about you, man. I think you'd be a great dad. I
I
think, yeah, you're
appreciate
just
it.
like I can tell. I can tell. You know, you're a great listener, and you know, you just. I mean, hey, you're going to be that family. People are going to come over, and your friends, your kids' friends are going to come over and raid your pantry. You know what I
The
mean?
snack. I already do it, so all I need is the kids to follow.
Yeah, like my mom always told me, like the first thing you drank was milk. The first thing you ate was cereal, like baby cereal, that is. But
It's
you know,
very
it's
full
like
circle too.
exactly. It's intertwined. I have memories of waking up before my parents on weekend mornings, sneaking downstairs, taking a chair, putting it beside the countertop, climbing up to the cereal shelf, reaching for like Star Wars cereal with the laid up spoon prize, and just like digging through it, fighting over the prize with my siblings, and just like watching cartoons until everyone would wake up. Like it's just these are like the core memories that I have. And
This is making me. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This is making me a little bit emotional
takes
because
you
I'm
back,
I'm
right?
thinking about the fact that you're going to be able to relive that through them, and it's like that's so
Yeah,
cool. That's
it's
such a
really
cool
exciting.
experience.
Hey man, it'll come your way soon. It'll come your way.
I look forward to it when that day happens. But you can tell you got a lot of exciting stuff coming up. So keep everybody updated on. Do you know when the book is coming out yet? Do you have a general idea?
So I want to really announce. So there's a couple of directions right now because we're talking
Okay.
with different brands and different publishers, and we're trying to see if this is something that we should self-publish because we have a great base of Kickstarter backers, thanks to all the
Yeah.
Kickstarter backers, or if we go the publishing route. But regardless, it's going to be really cool. It's going to be like a emotional, like a visual experience of all those cereals that you once loved. It's a great conversation starter. It's great, it's just to live on your coffee table, from the mascots, some lifestyle photos. I got a great buddy, shout out my buddy Brian, who's just has like these cameras from literally like the 50s and 60s, and we're using that photography to style, to take photos of these cereal boxes from that era, to take you back.
That's
So
brilliant.
yeah, so and then we have a lot of gallery shots taken in this light box, so we can get like really ultra detailed stuff. So really pouring my full heart into this thing, and I love to get you a copy, man. I love to
I
get your
absolutely, and
yeah,
I will 100% post about it. That's absolutely
sure.
going to my house. Are you kidding me? Like
Yeah.
I am a snack guy. I've got like snack memorabilia all over the house. So a book of cereal for the coffee table is a no-brainer, 100%.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much, man. I really do.
Dude,
And
any
I
day.
promise you, it will not disappoint.
Oh,
It's so
I have no doubts.
yeah,
My hopes are so high about this
yeah.
thing, and knowing you, it's not going to be disappointing whatsoever.
Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun, especially with the cover. I'm working with some artists. I'm hoping that one very very popular serial artist makes the time or has the time to design the front and the back to make it like feel like a cereal box. And so there's so much that's going into it, and yeah, stay tuned for that for sure. Um,
Sweet.
but yeah, that's the book right there, Cereal Life.
So, where for people who want to connect with you, where can they find you? Username, platforms, etc. I mean, give us the deets.
Sure. Well, you can find me on Instagram at Cereal Life, one word, two L's, and um, I'm also on TikTok. I'm also on YouTube. Stay tuned over there as well. But Instagram is the main thing for now, and check out the book coming soon. Pre-ordering
Sweet.
hopefully by now. So
Nice.
yeah,
And you
check out
guys
the
can
page.
watch my page as well. We'll definitely make sure to have links so you guys can find the book as well. So thank you so much for coming on, dude. This is long overdue. And yeah, I'm looking forward to everything going on.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Zach. I really appreciate it. And I mean, I feel like we just scratched the surface, so we should do this again
Oh
sometime.
yeah. Oh, we absolutely will. Don't worry.